What a finish. India pulled off mission impossible, beating Bangladesh in the final of the Nidahas Trophy on the last ball of the tournament. Dinesh Karthik, the much maligned Dinesh Karthik, provided a Superman act for India. He hit 28 of 9 deliveries. He took Rubal Hussain for 22 runs off the penultimate over. At that point, they needed 34 of 12 deliveries. He made it 12 off the last over. But it didn't start well. He was there though on the last ball. India needed 5. A 6 to win it, 4 to send the game into a super over. But what did Karthik do? He said, I'm not risking the super over. I'm hitting a maximum. And he hit Shumya Sharka out of the ground. India clinching the trophy in miraculous fashion. And to start off for India, this was a great win. They were missing several key players, and yet they were still able to win the tournament. After the loss to Sri Lanka in the first game, they went on to win 4 on the bounce. I think it's a testament to their depth in quality. And the big positive for them, I think, obviously Dinesh Karthik goes without saying, looks to now have cemented his spot in the team. But I think the man of the series, Washington Sundar, he was the biggest positive for India. Just 18 years old, but he looks like he's going to play for India for a decade. Good off spinner, and he can also handle the bat. So for India, I think they've unearthed a gem in Washington Sundar. Now, a few concerns for India. I think they'll be disappointed with how Suresh Raina performed in this series. He was given the responsibility to bat at 3. Very experienced player in a team that had been stripped of a lot of its experience, and he failed to take command. He just made a comeback in the 2020 series against South Africa. He did reasonably well there, but he couldn't build on it there. He couldn't build on it. And for Raina now, is this the end of his career? How many more chances is he going to get to cement himself? Because India, talent is not an issue for them. So I think Suresh Raina is on skaty ice there. As for Jaidev Unadkat, this was, I think, a poor series for him. He hasn't quite made the transition from the IPL to international cricket, one of the stars of the IPL last year, but he hasn't been particularly impressive in the Indian blue. So that will be disappointing for India, that they still don't have a reliable backup to their stalwart opening bowling pair of Jasprit Bumrah and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Shardul Thakur was also very inconsistent in this tournament. A few good performances, but a few terrible performances as well. But on the whole, for India, I think a positive tournament nonetheless. And always good to get one over a team that you don't particularly like in the form of Bangladesh. As for Bangladesh, they will be bitterly disappointed with how this tournament ended. If you have a look at how the tournament went, they beat Sri Lanka twice, but they lost to India 3 times. And to me, I think they've developed a bit of an inferiority complex when it comes to India. Looking at this game, I don't know how they did not get over the line. They snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, it seems. They got off to a shaky start, but Shabir Rahman, 77, he got them to a competitive total 166. That was defendable. And through largely the excellent skill of Mustafizur Rahman, they looked like they would defend the total. 34 to defend off the last 2 overs. You've got Vijay Shankar at the crease, a guy playing his first international innings, and Dinesh Karthik, a guy who isn't necessarily guaranteed his place in the team, but yet you find a way to lose that game. Deja vu for Bangladesh after the World T20 defeat, the infamous World T20 defeat in 2016. This was the first time since then that the two sides met in 2020s, and the first 2 games weren't competitive, but this one was the first close game they'd had since then, and once again Bangladesh failed to close it out. I think there is a big mental hurdle for them to overcome now when it comes to India. This is going to hurt for a long time for Bangladesh, and you wonder how they're going to overcome this. But looking at their tactics, I was bemused by the way Shakib used his bowlers. I thought his seeming basically refusal to bowl spinners who were spinning the ball into the batsman was very, very perplexing. Mehdi Hassan only bowled 1 over in the game because India mostly had right-handers apart from Shikhar Dhawan and Suresh Raina, who both got out in the power play. The rest of the batting lineup is full of right-handers, and hence Mehidy Hasan did not get an opportunity to bowl. I understand the theory behind it, as it's easier to hit the ball spinning into you than the ball spinning away from you. But when the alternative is Shumya Shaka, a part-time medium pacer, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Shumya Shaka bowled the 16th, 18th, and 20th overs. Those are crucial overs being bowled by a guy who's in the team for his batting. You can't have a part-timer bowling crunch overs at the death. That was unbelievable. And I do not know why Mustafizur Rahman didn't bowl the 20th over. He was bowled out in the 18th. Wouldn't you rather have your best bowler bowling that last over? India needing 5 runs to win off that last over. Do you think Dinesh Karthik would have hit Mustafizur Rahman for 6? I don't think so. So that was amazing to me. And if you remember, in the last game against Sri Lanka, Shakib employed the same bizarre tactic. When Kusal Perera and Thisara Perera were batting together, he refused to bowl any left-arm orthodox. So he himself only bowled 2 overs, and Nazmul Islam didn't bowl a single over. He's in the team for his batting. He bats at 11, and he didn't bowl a single over. That to me was absolutely extraordinary. I understand the theory, but do you really think a part-time medium pacer is going to do a better job than a frontline spin bowler in Asia? It just boggles my mind. At the end of the day, I think that ultimately cost Bangladesh. The way Shakib handled the bowlers, Shumya Shaka bowling at the death there, it was always going to be a recipe for disaster. To be fair to him, he didn't do a bad job. But when the game was on the line there, he didn't have the experience or the skill to deliver the perfect ball when it was required. But those are the fine margins in international cricket. But anyway, if you got this far, thanks for watching the video. Let me know what you thought about the final, and I will see you in the next video.